Yo, 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 yo. Hello, everyone. It's Jared here from Crypto Plan. Thought I'd go live. I haven't done a video for a couple of days, been super busy. Haven't been able to get the time or the energy to do anything. And I guess I've also just been sitting back and watching what has been going on because there's been a lot going on, right? And I think sometimes you just got to take a step back and actually learn a few things from other people that have been around a bit longer than you to kind of make a judgment on where things are at now. I guess there was a point, maybe yesterday where I thought, oh, things are going to take off. Bitcoin started moving, Dogecoin had taken off. There was all this hype around GameStop, and I thought, oh, here we go. Everyone's spending their money and they're going to start pumping things left, right, and center. But what's happened? We have just chilled out. So I'm just going to go through all of the coins that I've been watching in all of the videos, and just kind of make a case for the fact that we're not in alt season yet. And the fact is that basically we're still correcting. We're still going through a correction. Bitcoin is still going through a correction. It hasn't broken its all-time high. You can see here on this particular chart here, we've got this candle here that broke out of this channel, but where's it found support again, or found resistance inside that channel? So straight away it's gone up and then come straight back down, and it's going to keep descending down this channel until it either breaks lower to find some lower support and fires off, or it actually breaks higher out of that channel. So clearly there's two options for it, but at the moment it's sideways and it's down. So typical bullish flag setup. So nothing unusual going on there with Bitcoin. So that's that. So that's the first case scenario. Like, I think if this had kept going and this candle body was up here and it was actually going to close this candle in 3 hours above that line, you might be going, okay, something's happening. But even then, there's that back test opportunity. So we are where we are with Bitcoin. We're still in a correction. Ethereum, same deal. The divergent correction. So we've got the RSI going down still, but we've got the actual price action, or the bull flag, going up. So I think there's definitely a deeper correction going on for Ethereum, because sometimes when there's this divergence, so when there's the trends going this way down in the RSI and the trends going this way in the actual stock or the graph, one of them's got to give, right? So it's either going to fire completely crazy to the upside, or it could say that the strength is weak and then therefore this is going to be weak and kind of tap down a lot lower. And my predictions are kind of somewhere to retest these levels here just before it broke out, somewhere around the 750. So that's where it's at for me with Ethereum. Where else are we at? What have we got? XRP, I think, once again, is playing its own game. It's still down there. It's still squashed. I think we're going to see that one pop out. It tried to give us a little candle there on the same day Doge fired off, but it couldn't. XLM. So there we go. There's one that potentially has broken out. So XLM, what we want to see is within the next 3 hours that candle body closes above this downward trend line, and then the next candle body keeps moving up, and that would confirm that it's in a breakout, and you're going to know because it's probably going to be printing a large candle. But I feel like this one in particular is also going to be a fake out, and we're going to have some retests down to these kind of 19-cent levels at some point, whether it's just a wick. And I just want to show an example of that wick, because I did talk about this the other day. And it's gone now, but it had on this particular chart, I think it was on this candle, that it had wicked down to 23 cents or 35 cents, which I was predicting now. I don't know if that actually happened, but it is very much a possibility for these things to quickly wick down and then get snapped up again. So maybe that didn't happen. Yesterday it was on there, but not sure Not sure if that was just a bit of a blip in the chart data. Theta. So this one, and this is great example there where we've had the RSI going down. So we're in a correction. It's correcting, it's correcting, it's correcting. It's broken out, back test of that breakout. And now it's probably going to go a little bit sideways. So these long doji candles here is kind of a, I can't make up my mind in the market situation. So potentially another leg up in theta. I don't think theta necessarily has to test too much lower again, but it could pop down there towards the wick of that candle, 1.43 US dollars. I would love it if it dipped down a bit lower, below a dollar. I would love to pick up a bunch more theta at below a dollar. I think I'd absolutely load the boat. But yeah, you can see there once again, downward channel, bull flag, going with the RSI, kind of breakout, fake out, and now it's a big decision time for theta. That is it going to kind of grind along this line with these doji candles, or is it going to kind of fall back into that channel and just kind of bounce around again? So we'll pull that out again. And I think the reason why I think that there's a little bit more time to play out in all of this is that, you know, this was the fractal that I pulled from 2017, and there's still some time there, you know, like there's still the potential that this plays out all through the month of February. So I'm not saying it will, but there's, you know, based on history and the fractal, and I have kind of squashed this down a bit, and I think the dip will be a bit lower, but might find that this thing kind of grinds its way down, and then, you know, like somewhere similar to this pattern was here, and then bang, pops down, finds one of these resistance levels, maybe 27, maybe 23, potentially. I think 23 is probably the more obvious target now because it's spent quite a few days over here in that 23 range before that last kind of push up to the upside here. So that's my theory there, that, you know, there's still a couple of weeks to play out. It is just a theory, and it's all probable anyway, depending on how the market plays, right? ZIL. So I think same deal again. Don't have the channel drawn, but you can see that flag is still there. Sorry, we've got to go back to this chart, the weekly chart where I've got all the channels drawn. So Zilliqa, same deal again. It's textbook in that flag, downward flag channel. It's bullish. It's just consolidating. You know, the market is just making some accumulation before it pops out, and you can see that as a measured move. You know, what did it do last time? Cut 200%. So you're looking for a pop of maybe 400% on the next breakout of Zilliqa there over a couple of days. You know, I don't think it's going to do any Lambo candles, but it potentially do a couple of big candles that'll break out to the upside. Cardano doing the same thing as Ethereum, but it's a little bit more wishy-washy. So the RSI is still bearish, so it's still in a correction, while the actual price action is in this upward trend. But then there was this fake out of the channel and then back into the channel. So I honestly am a firm believer that Cardano has a retest to do of this area down here, you know, 18 cents and below. So I think I've definitely got my eye on that one to snap it up again, because I did take some profits on Cardano. I've actually placed some of those profits into, I got Peercoin on a dip and I got Harmony One on a dip recently. So I've just kind of added a little bit to those bags. And I've got a couple of orders in for another dip from Harmony, and I think maybe a theta order in. So yeah, I'd still like to see, you know, I'd always add a little bit more Cardano if it ever did dip down back to this 19 cents and below level. VeChain, not as kind of predictable as the others. I think that was my initial channel I drew. So you can see it has actually broken out of that channel. But potentially, I mean, you could kind of pull that back and use these wicks here and just say, yeah, well, there you go. There's the parallel channel there, and just widen it out, that it's kind of up, down, and then is it going to fire off on out, or is it going to hit that that, is it going to hit the top of this channel the next time and then test down in a correction with the total market. DOT, I think, yeah, that pumped so much that it's probably got a longer correction than the rest, because it's definitely it was definitely overbought for a while there. It's probably cooling off now, but I can't see DOT being the next one to fire off. Litecoin, same deal again, still in the bearish channel, like the bull flag, but the downward channel that's agreeing with the RSI. So there's nothing yet that's telling me that any other particular coin besides Dogecoin has broken out of the trend and said, hey, it's alt season, So that's what we're looking for. And I think once a lot of these breakouts do happen to the upside, that's when we're going to start seeing that confirmation that the total altcoin market cap minus Bitcoin is going to all-time highs, right? So going back there, same deal. The total market cap is still, minus Bitcoin, is still in a weakness trend or a downward trend in the RSI on the daily there, but it's in an uptrend, but a parallel channel uptrend on the daily there. So, but we can still see that it's got to get up here to the 476 billion market cap to actually officially go into all new time all highs. So that would take a lot of altcoins breaking into new ground to actually get that up there, So we've got, we've had Ethereum, we've had, the DOT pumps, we've had, now Dogecoin move a couple of ladders up into the altcoin status, but it's not enough clearly there. Even I think it wanted to get to about 416 billion there, so it's still got a couple of legs up, and a couple of good green days for a lot of coins to actually get it up to that total market cap. But then I would expect that once it gets up there, it'll find resistance again and kind of maybe do the cup of the handle and then fire on out again. So once again, we're still probably looking at a couple of weeks for all this to play out. So that's what the title of the slide was. The thumbnail was just be patient, hold your coins, because if you start chasing things at this point in the game, you're just going to dissolve away your profits, because you'd be better off selling something that has pumped. So if you had Dogecoin, sell it now and then buy something that's undervalued. For example, like ZRX here, that's fairly well compressed compared to its all-time highs. Up there at 270, and you can still buy it down here for 50. And you can see it's just been in like a really flat consolidation for a long time. Peaked up to 90 cents there, but this is another one that if it ever kind of dips again back down to the 30-cent range, I would be grabbing a little bit more of that, because once again, its upside potential is fairly good compared to, say, a Dogecoin that's already made new all-time highs, or DOT that's in all-time highs, and you just don't really know where it's going to go. At least when you've got some price history, you can say, well, it can do at least a 10x. The graph, consolidation, same deal again, down, up. It's faking its way out, trying to get out, but essentially this is a sideways pattern. This is an accumulation zone. RSI is pretty much sideways. So once again, if you can grab the graph anywhere down below that 40 cent, if it ever dips in the future, I would say that'd be a great buying opportunity for graph. If you're talking about maximum gains, if you're talking about just capturing the move, then you'd want to see it breaking 65 cents, buying in, setting a stop loss below that, and then letting it run, because it's still got this original resistance of 74. So that eventual breakout move might happen above that 74 cent zone. If you're kind of doing the day trade, or the trade that just gets that chunk of profit out of it when it moves to the upside. So I'm in it for the buy low, sell high, kind of take the most percentage of profit out of it. So that's why I'm always looking for these pullbacks to add to my position. But I am learning a lot about the opposite side of trading, reading a really good book at the moment, Market Wizards, or listening to a really great book, Market Wizards. Kind of gives you the insight into the mind space of some of the greatest traders of all time and the way they think. And the common theme I hear is that basically they don't enter trades unless they're going to make money, and they're going to get into profit fairly quickly. And if they don't get into profit fairly quickly, they have fairly, 7% stop losses below their entry point, and they sell out straight away. And the key is to be able to take a loss to make your profits worthwhile, So if you let a loss run, then it's a loss and your money's stuck there. So if you are going to do that sort of trading, for example, graph breaks out above the 62 cents here, and it's kind of looks like it's going up, you might set your stop loss back here at 58 cents or something, and then just be willing to sell out if it goes back down below, and then buy in again if it if it moves again, and making sure that you capture the move when it's moving up, as opposed to capturing it, having it pull back, and then firing off again a day or two later. You'd rather have your money in your account in profit than on the side. Not on the side, than inside a project that actually is negatively geared towards what your initial entry price is. So Dash is one of the ones that I'm watching out for. That will probably be a late bloomer, and I'll probably be rolling a lot of the profits from my other altcoins that will pump earlier back into this, because it's still from these prices, it's got like a 12x to its all-time high, and I think it'll go well beyond that all-time high. So you're looking at, if things are pumping and this is anywhere between 100 and 120, it's a buying opportunity, because it will eventually get its day in the limelight. Peercoin, this is another one I added to, so you can see it kind of had a little dip there that day. I didn't capture the very bottom of that, but I kind of caught somewhere around the 30-cent mark. So I added another 100 Australian dollars to that. So that's my project coin, to see how much I could make out of 100. And well, now it's how much can I make out of 200 Australian dollars in an altcoin that's been around a while but doesn't have any attention, but has some price data to say that it could 10 or 20x. So that's Peercoin for you. And it's I think it's fairly strong in the way that it's not a lot of wicks there, like it's some good candle bodies, and it's not all over the shop, it's kind of giving you that looks like a bit of a gold chart actually, where it's kind of makes some way up, long correction, deep correction, and then it'll fire off out of there. So hopefully I get some action on that Peercoin just to make it worth me while. EOS, same again, really long channel of accumulation here. I think if we draw that in right now, this is another one where I think if it hasn't fired off, that you'd be looking to roll some profits in there. If one of your things goes 10x very quickly, maybe roll into something like Dash or EOS or ZRX. And you can see that it's been in accumulation since March of this range of 390 to 230. And anywhere on this lower edge of the line is obviously a lower, better buying point. So I could see myself adding a little bit to that if it sticks below this line when I've got some profits to roll over. Basic attention token, similar story there. Like it had some action early on in August, and then it's given you some great opportunities down here in November. And then even more recently, kind of been around the 22 cent range now. It's holding itself up there, but you can see that it's bull flagging. Sorry, and the RSI's not playing that same game that all the other kind of popular coins have done, I guess, where it's negative RSI with a positive uptrend, or So basically, BAT, I am not really interested in it. I just kind of watch it because it's like a sentiment thing for me. Like I think when BAT takes off, I think it'll give an indicator of sentiment. That it's had some sentiment here. Once that sentiment fires back in again, maybe that's another one of those indicators that we could be very, very close to an alt season. It's good to see those Bitcoin miners pull back a bit of ground today, even though the price of Bitcoin wasn't ridiculous. But you can see they got bullish and then the red candle came in. So you started the day very strong and pulled back. Mara's the same, started the day strong, pulled back. And Argo blockchain, well, not as bad, but, started the day strong and closed, above its lower level of its retracement here. So maybe there's some activity over there, but I still think that if Bitcoin corrects, these blockchain miners are going to correct, and there will be some of these gaps potentially closed down to this, maybe the 35 cent, maybe the 23 cent for ARB, and I would definitely load the boat again on ARB if I could ever pick it up down in that 35 to 25 range. That would be super duper cool. And then, yeah, we've just, like I say, I just think besides Dogecoin, nothing is really going on. There's nothing crazy that's telling me that alt season is anywhere near starting. I think, it's, 10% here, 10% there on a day-by-day basis. One I have kind of been thinking about just putting a punt on is this game coin or whatever it is. Now, it's fairly thin volume on this particular exchange, but I like, like you buy it today for 4 cents and it was up at 6 cents the other day and you get 50% up, so it's kind of one of those ones where you can get a good pop, bang for your buck, because it's a real low market cap one. So I might do another like kind of deeper analysis on that, but yeah, it's kind of one of those ones that I've been watching, and it's very, very much at its very, very bottom. It's at the lowest it could possibly be, right? So down there at 0.04 of a cent, and there is some price history up in there in the dollars range, so up there in the $7. So potentially could be a very generous 100 bagger, and I think if we just put that measure on it, the point, even at 5 cents there, what's that? Yeah, 146x to its all-time high there, not counting those wicks there, but yeah, that's, it's one of those ones like it's just been grabbing my attention. So game credits, I think it's called, but yeah, game credits. So want to put on your watch list anyway, game credits, because I think it could go gangbusters if if a small amount of people get in there and really pump it up, and you're in early, definitely one of those ones you could take a nice bag away from, But I would never throw a large amount of risk into game credits there, but definitely one I'd be interested in. But I think I can't remember who put me onto this Harmony One, but I really like it. I like Harmony One. I keep hearing a little bit more about it. I like this accumulation pattern, and I like where the price is at right now. And I like that when it's moving positively, and then it's not correcting massively. So I think, once again, I got my eyes on, any dips in this particular one, anywhere down in the 5 to 6 cents region. Like if it dips out into this gap here, I will definitely add a little bit more to that, because I don't know, it just seems to me like it's sentiment's there, and the chart is doing the right thing, and the fact that once it is there at a cent, that we can basically be in price discovery, and like these things can fire off into, like 10 cents, 50 cents, 30 cents, like you just never know. You never know with these new coins that go into price discovery, like those Lambo candles can be large, if you know what I mean, like new projects, low market cap. So that's kind of my path there, kind of going up to the, breaking out of the all-time high there of a cent, pulling back to test it, firing off up into somewhere like 4 cents and then back off and then firing out again. So Harmony, is definitely one I've got my eyes on and definitely one I'm looking to buy. So that's pretty much it for the cryptos. Now I think we've just got to wait for that whole market cap, the total market cap, to edge its way up. But for anyone that is interested about kind of things that can go parabolic, we're starting to see some action over here in the silver miners. Now, believe it or not, a lot of these junior silver miners will act like cryptocurrencies. So if you do have a stock trading account and you are into trading, buying silver junior miners and you've got your eyes on those prizes, there's been some big action over there. Like, people are talking about these short squeezes, but the fact is that, like, silver is a suppressed metal. Silver has seen $50 in the 70s, and then it peaked to then $50 again in the 2011 bull run. So it is like so discounted from its all-time data, and it's just waiting to fire off to the upside. And when that happens, it will bring everything with it. So I've got Mag Silver is definitely a big part of my portfolio. Golden Minerals just come into production, big part of my portfolio. Had 16% today. Mag Silver was 10% today. First Majestic Silver, strong producer of silver around the globe, has 4 or 5 producing assets. Like, they're just going to be so loaded with cash. They will start paying very decent dividends. So you can see there that, like, there's been some decent candles firing off there. Pan American Silver, similar story, a lot of high producing silver assets. Another one I own, Silver Bull Resources, 16% today. So starting to see some good action over there, because the charts and the price of silver had been very sideways, very bearish. Well, bearish in a retracement in a bull market. So it's very good to see some of these stocks fire off to the upside. Again, Hecla is another one I think that will do very well in this bull cycle. Big player in the silver mining. Fortuna Silver Mine, same deal again. Like, not these ones aren't going to be like 10 baggers, they're your 3 to 5 baggers, but it's nice to have them in your portfolio and have it as a base to your portfolio, like proven players in the game, solid assets, pumping out ounces of silver. It's very, very cool to see that happening once again. Another one was McEwen Mining, and I was nearly about to sell that because I was like, oh, it's just a junior. Like, their recent results or their drill results weren't that great, and I was like, oh, should I roll it over into something else? And I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't, because it gave us, I think my cost base is around $1.04, and it dipped down as low as like 93 cents there, and I was like, oh, should I just cut my losses? But then you can see there, bang, it just like wicked up there in a couple of days. It's pulled back again, but it's good to see that some people are seeing these sort of stocks and going, well, they're good value opportunities, and a whole bunch of people fire into them. But I think it was kind of touted around that it was part of this short squeeze or part of this Wall Street bet. So I'm not sure exactly whether it is or not, but either way, I don't mind if people are going to pile into this because of a social media, revolt against Wall Street. I will, if this thing fires off to be $4 or $5, I'll just sell out and roll those profits into one of these bigger players of mine, which is, like the Mag Silver, the Golden Minerals, which I do believe will be solid players in the mining space for years and years to come, and they'll be paying dividends. So that's always been my strategy in the crypto plan, is to take some of those, peak profits from the crypto and roll it into a dividend paying account. Originally, I would have thought I'd have a diversified portfolio of dividends, but at the moment, it looks like I'm going to be building it off these gold and silver miners and potentially copper miners that will have large cash balances in their bank accounts that will have to be paid to shareholders as dividends, because where else are they going to spend it? You can't keep buying mine sites. so at some point you've just got to just take the cash and then give it back, right? So very interested to see what's going on over there in the silver space at the moment. And you could same deal with the silver junior miners there. It's been ranging, but it's had a couple of good days there. And the silver price itself is very close to breaking above this $27 level. So long uptrend there, kind of had a big divergence from that, pulled its way back, correcting, little kind of fake out there. But I think the next move is going to be breaking out into new all-time, well, not all-time highs, but into new highs for silver. And silver, once that fires off, it will act exactly. And if you look at this chart here, you could call that an XRP chart. You could call that any chart you like. But the only difference is, and if we go to the weekly, is that it's over a longer period of time. So for me, I like the idea of rolling over the crypto profit, so it's not as intense. Like I have to watch this every day and cash out very quickly on the pumps. These things will grind their way up. If you see, what was it, since 2008 all the way to 2011 was that bull run, the last time. So it's going to be a similar thing here where from now until maybe 2023, maybe 2024, you've got that opportunity to scale out throughout that period. And and you've got a little bit longer to build positions, So right now, yes, there's been some good price action to the upside, but I still believe that some of the silver junior miners are at very, very good discounts. And I think if you Google the silver juniors ETF fund, and you can actually get a list of the stocks that are in it, and that's where I started. And I just have kind of added the ones that I saw from the charts that had the most upside. And that I could actually buy, on Trading 212. So this is my Trading 212 metals watch list or portfolio list pretty much, because I pretty much got a little piece of everything in here. But you can see that it's nice to see a little bit of green in the silver miners today for anyone that is actually going to play this bull run, because it won't be a flash in the pan like a 6 month or 3 month bull run like the alt season will be. This will be a 3 to 5 year thing. And I think if I show everyone the story there with the cup and handle, which I drew, where is it on silver? No, is it on the monthly? Silver, no. Geez, I drew a nice chart with a cup and handle on one of them. Oh, maybe, no, it's on this monthly one here. Here we go. We've got to roll out of there to the 212 metals. No, still not going to give it to us. Anyway, there it is there. So there we go on the weekly. This is the story for silver. Is that I might even go to the monthly. Is that so in the 70s here, it peaked up to $45 or $50, right? And it has had the biggest bear market, or the biggest kind of cut play out until 2011 there. So, silver got beaten up all through this period, and then it's come out the other side, tapped off that $45 high again, done the handle, and then now we're just breaking out of the cup handle. So it's kind of the right time for the macro trade to occur. Ideally down here when silver was $14 was probably the prime time to get in. But this is the thing, it's like a long-term 5 to 7 year price target from now. And not that I'm buying the metal, but from there to there, it's a lot of upside. And what this means is that if this does play out and it basically hits these targets of $180, maybe even $200 for silver for an ounce, the profits of some of these companies, like Mag Silver, is profitable if silver's at like $8 an ounce. So if they're getting $200 an ounce, like think of how much extra cash these mining companies are going to have, and when you compare it to crypto projects, which yes, they'll pump based on a bull run and the low market cap, but not a lot of them are actually making money. They're not actually have real use cases, whereas companies like Mag Silver, Golden Minerals, like they are in the process of actually digging money out of the ground and printing it in the form of bullion, so that's why I like it. I like having a little bit of both the crypto and the silver. So that's kind of where we're at. It's been good to watch what's going on. It's been good to sit back and see the fact that crypto is got a bit of action going on now. Bitcoin's flirting with us. All these things are happening, but more importantly, that the second stage of my crypto plan, and that's rolling over into the gold, silver, and copper stocks, is that, there's a bit of an upside there, and the portfolio is looking a little bit better today than it was a couple of days ago because everything was kind of depressing there. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Please, chuck us a comment there if you watch this in the post recording of it and you want to have anything analysed, or if you want to learn a bit more about the gold and silver miners. More than happy to point you in the right direction. There is definitely a couple of videos on my page that goes through a couple of these stocks in details. That's why I haven't done it today. I don't really have the energy to do that, but definitely there is still some good opportunities in gold, silver, and copper, and massive upside potential in the next 3 to 5 years, depending on whether this is just a normal bull run like it was last time, 3 years, or if it's a super cycle like they're saying, which, it could be a 10-year bull run, so it's definitely some retirement plans that are going to be enacted through these metals, which is very, very cool, and I would love to be a part of that. So anyway, for now, I've been Jared, and this has been Crypto Plan, and thank you for everyone that's watched, jumped in, jumped out, and I will catch you on the next one, and I think I'll be doing a short form one. So any hot tips out there, give us a yell, and I'll have a look at the charts, and we'll go through them. Anyway, bye for now.